I know what I'm looking for, so I go straight to what I'm looking for. It's become a habit. I go straight to the avocados first, choose my avocados carefully. I have a set number of avocados for the full week. Then I have this thing called pate. Now this pate is actually, it does have a little bit of sugar in it. I always look at the nutritional facts, how much of carbs and how much of fat. This got a high fat content, a little expensive, but that's okay. Now sometimes I take ground beef or lamb. Well, I will take one lamb and one beef. Hello and welcome folks, this is Krishna and welcome back to my channel. As you have probably seen or guessed from the intro itself that I was doing a grocery shopping, evidently, for ketogenic diet only. Now what is important here is that this is not just ketogenic diet. You can eat these things anyways, which you probably are already doing, but this particular video is to show you what I am shopping for my ketogenic diet. A little bit of history is that I started my ketogenic diet exactly about 3 years ago, a little more than that. 2018 March, beginning March, when I started my ketogenic diet with my Dr. Parikshit Bhattacharya. This is the month of April 2021, so that's more than 3 years that I'm on a ketogenic diet. I'll put a link up in the description, in the card over here, of what I used to eat when I was in India. This video was made in United States and what I'm eating in the US, how I do my grocery shopping. Just to let you know that I've also published a full video, a detailed video with my doctor who has been monitoring my health all these years with me. I'll link somewhere here as well, where I put all my blood markers, all my blood reports, not just one or two aspects, each and every aspect of my body, of my blood reports. It has been covered, and do check on this link, that particular video, where we go into the details of what ketogenic diet does to your body. Okay, to complete the shopping list today morning, as you saw, this is a pate. Pate actually, basically, it's a pate de foie. That is essentially, it says here pork and chicken liver, pate with armagnac. This I don't eat very often because it does have 2 grams of carbs and in 56 grams of per serving. You know, each time when I buy something, I go through the nutritional facts and see the amount of carbs that are present in per serving. So I know that's called carb watching. For me now, after 3 years, it's become almost automatic. I don't really have to go into the details. I know, I just look at it, glance at it, I know how much I'm buying, and if I'm eating this, I know how much I'm eating. Like I know that if I have a third of this, I'll be having less than 1 grams of carbs. That said, it does have sugars, 1 gram, which is probably in the form of honey, I believe. Yeah, it says honey. I'll show you in a subsequent video how I actually prepare my breakfast and lunch and dinner and how I eat it. This is just a grocery shopping. You find these things almost in any supermarket. This is also something that I always buy, Parmesan, shredded Parmesan, and this shredded Parmesan, actually I use it, again I'll show you in the cooking, I use it for in the cooking along with the sour cream as well. All of this you will see that I'm buying is high fat content, some protein, and very low carbs. Essentially it is low carb, high fat diet. Just to give an example, this guy, the sour cream, says total fat 6 grams, total carbs 2 grams in a serving that measures 30 grams. Generally I use less than or around 30 grams each time I cook with the sour cream. The cheese of course has very little carbs, I believe 0 grams carbs. Yeah, total sugar 0 grams, total carbs 0 grams, so it's mostly fat and protein. I also bought some crumbled blue cheese. Again, this is mostly fat and protein, 0 grams carbs, I believe. The most important thing that I keep doing is actually carb watching. You know, each time I buy something, for me now it's automatic because I've been doing it for so many months, so many years. I don't have to actually go and look, oh, this is this much of carbs. No, I do it just the first time. And if I buy something new, like this is something new that I bought a few months ago and I have started buying it maybe once a month or so. So when I went to buy this for the first time, I actually had to check the nutritional facts. This is something I just put in the bag just to show you, but this is the egg bites that I have for breakfast. I have eaten them all, so This is actually an interesting thing that you find in only specific grocery stores. It says keto friendly, 1 gram total carbs. And this is an egg thing with fully cooked, or you just have to put it in the microwave and eat it. Total fat 10 grams, total carbohydrate 1 gram per serving. And generally when I have breakfast, I have about 3 or 4 of these, and they are pretty substantial. Of course, I buy lots of avocados. I have at least 1 avocado every day in the morning at breakfast. Bunch of bacon. Again, you know, bacon is mostly fat. This particular bacon has 1 gram of carbs. That is 1 slice. I typically have 4 slices in the morning. That makes it about 4 grams of carbs along with 2 eggs. So 4 grams of carbs in the morning, it's actually, honestly, it's nothing. In the vegetables, I also buy, let me show you. Ta-da! Broccoli. Now, broccoli is extremely good for a keto-friendly diet. This is something that you can have. I'll again show you how I make my broccoli. Generally have it during dinner with my, that's my next item. I'll show it to you soon. And also by myself, I don't have it here, mushrooms, which I, again, in a subsequent video, I'll show it in the cooking, how I cook my mushrooms with my meat. And this time, as you saw, I bought myself ground lamb and ground beef, just because I like the beef. And lamb, it is because it's got a higher concentration of fat in it. So again, fat is important when you're on ketogenic diet. It's important to have high amounts of fat. So I generally try to go by that, a low carbs and high fat diet. That's how I go. I mean, it is very important to go through the nutritional facts mentioned behind everything. I personally do not actually much enjoy, how do I call it, buying frozen stuff. Some people say go buy frozen vegetables. I don't much enjoy eating that. I mean, as coming from India, again, it's something that is, I believe, cultural, that we used to have fresh vegetables all the time, fresh meat all the time. I mean, I'm having packaged meat for the first time in my life after coming to America. And of course, there is this wonderful pork chops. Nutritional facts, it says probably 0 grams carbs. Now 1 gram carb per serving, and per serving is 112 grams, so it is really nutrient dense meat that you can have. That pretty much sums up mushrooms. I haven't shown you here because I already have mushrooms. That pretty much sums up my grocery list, but that does not mean that you cannot buy other stuff. This is not an exhaustive list. This is what I typically do, got into the habit of doing things. I know that this I can buy, and I also know a few more things. A couple of things I actually missed out here. There's this cheese called Manuri cheese. It's a Greek cheese, and nuts. In the nuts, I have a couple of nuts that I buy. That is the pecan nuts and the Brazilian nuts. That's one of my favorite snacks, actually. I take the nuts, Brazilian, pecan, and some walnuts as well, and I mix it up with the Manuri cheese. It's a slightly nice, salty, grainy cheese. It's nice, and I have it as a snack. This is not a recipe thing, it's just a grocery list. Once you decide that you are getting into a ketogenic diet, once or twice you just have to have a list, and when you go to the grocery store with that list, just check the nutritional facts. Make sure that the carb content is very low. On a 100 gram serving, if it is 4 or 5 grams of carbs, that's the limit that you should look at. Then you cook that, eat it, you would be fine. But then again, what I would suggest is always consult your doctor before you do it. Like I was, for the first 6 months entirely, every time I would buy something, I would ask my doctor, Dr. Parikshit, I would just, take a screenshot, take a photograph, share it with him, and he would come back and say, yeah, sure, go ahead, or don't buy this, there's too much of carbs in it. By doing that over and over again, I got an idea of what I should be avoiding, how much carbs I should be, it's carb watching mostly, what I should be eating, and after a point of time, your body gets used, your body, starts to live on fat, and that's when the fun begins, This is the beauty of the ketogenic diet, and I have never felt better than now, ever before in my life. If you do have any questions, do put your questions down in the comment section down below. What do you think? Whatever you have, any questions that you want to know, I'm sure I'll be able to answer some of them, or if not, my doctor, he'll try to answer as well. I'm not a doctor, but now I have come to such an advanced ketogenic state that I can vouch for a lot of things. Yeah, so this is what my grocery thing looks like, grocery shopping looks like at the end of the week, and I'm waiting for your questions. So if you have any questions, do put your questions down in the comment section down below. In one of the next videos, I will be showing what I cook, how I cook through the day, and what I eat. Until then, folks, hope you enjoyed this one. Do click on the like button, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Cheers.